Howdy everybody, my name is Taffy Lemon and welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney. I messed with a few settings in OBS, so I'm no longer using Audacity, so hopefully the audio should be fine this episode. If it's not, fuck if I know what to do. Anyway, last we left off, we had just finished up the trial for this thing, so let's just get into it. Oh, but real quick before the video starts, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, back to the video. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it! Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go! Science awaits us! Alright, I guess we just fucking teleported. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor is brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never! Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all! It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grim for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminal testing fluid. Luminal? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing blood stains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look! I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Oh god, it's red. Very red. I've been dropped into the spaghetti sauce dimension. To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some blood stains. Oh, I can just do anything here. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, this is a blood stain. It's so... ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay. Well, we definitely know that this is a bloodstain, but doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course? What's odd about this, scientifically? The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Luminal testing fluid received from one very proud-looking MS guy. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah! It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. And yet you're not a detective anymore, are you, bitch? I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up. They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the Cough Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Look! A door! This must mean something. I'm not sure that doors mean anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? Aha! A ladder! That's a step ladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of the thing, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Gee, I wonder why. So, this is the famous divider. It sure helped us knock a hole in that testimony today. Come to think of it, this divider helped our case more than the actual witness. The Great Divider, a chip off the old parking block. It's just a wall, scientifically speaking. So that's where Miss Star saw the incident from. You could probably see quite a lot from up there. That probably means she wasn't lying when she said she saw Miss Sky stab him. Where's the security guard anyway? Well, this is just something I heard, but apparently he went out to buy coffee for Miss Star. That woman is a force to be reckoned with. This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose. Aha! The theory of relativity. What? I've got to write this down. Ah, hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe, you know, was Mr. Relativity German or was he British? Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name? B block is through there. That's where the visitors park. So, Miss Star climbed over this fence? It seems so, yeah. That fence is 9 feet high at least. Well, no time like the present. I think I'll give it a little try. Eek! It's okay, don't cry. Maybe there's a Lunchland Olympics team? A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of the day when I will be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. That's about as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red, alright. The body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk, and the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Sky choose his car? So, what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or coupe, something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. Emma, that is sexist. Maybe it is about time I got my driver's license. Phoenix, you still don't have a driver's license? What the fuck is wrong with you? How much money are you blowing on an Uber? That's where we found that note. 221 SL9, the SL9 incident. A case that was due for transferal the day of the murder. And the detective in charge of the case was the victim. I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was. It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case number. Well, judging by the fact that the detective was a homicide detective, then it's definitely a murder case. This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. So this is the famous oil drum. Well, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Hey, yeah! That's okay, don't cry. That Lana Sky must be one strong woman. I guess we're moving. Looks like Miss Sky's in questioning. Never mind then. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. That is quite suspicious. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. It makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up, or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's gonna help us much, either. These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I'd expect. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. So this is the police mascot, is it? The Blue Badger, the future star of the police force. The design's a little changed from the one outside. Ah, well, the dancing Blue Badger TM is still under development, you see. You have it trademarked? Absolutely. It's kind of stuff very now. I showed this doll here to my daughter and she burst into tears. Don't show her the moving mock-up outside then. You'll give her nightmares. Poster for female police officer. Wait, no, that's the latest Babes in Uniform calendar. My bad. That must be the chief of detectives. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room. Tell no one outside the police department. No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's getting into motion. That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. I know. The killer used dry ice. He put it between the latch and the door. The room could be sealed shut. This is good. I'll win a writer's award for sure. He's not writing a report. He's writing a novel. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here, after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. Feels like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. The Blue Badger is still writhing around today. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his batteries? Emma, that's fast. Theft, not theft. What? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. The usual wanted posters are hanging up on the bulletin board here. Do you know this face? If you do, dial 911. You know, Mr. Ray, I always thought it was kind of funny. I've never seen anyone who looked like the people in these posters. They hardly even look human. She has a point. I always get excited when I come to a police station. Why is that? It just feels like I've jumped into a movie. Huh? You know, with all the police and criminals? Well, I don't know if this is all that exciting. Sure it is! Look at those two officers over there. They're probably talking about the latest bust. Funny, I thought they were talking about the weather. Look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. You idiot, what were you thinking? Where's your head? Sir, it's right here, sir. I guess he wasn't saluting. He was showing the detective where his head was. They make a good pair. Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea. Why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. Panda? Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? Damn, it's raining hard out today. It was when I was on a school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We had just been at the zoo, see? What about zebras? Or did they not have those at your zoo? The banner here is announcing the crime-fighting campaign. Nice slogan. I wonder if they'll be selling fingerprinting sets. I don't think it's that kind of campaign. What family wouldn't want a set at home? It's good for finding out who snuck into the cookie jar. I think most families can figure that out without the extra help. Can I read today? Probably not. The detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action. Somehow the thought fails to excite me. Let's go in. Yippee. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So, beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh! What's wrong? It's those cacti! They're so prickly, so imposing, it's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yep. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I guess we need someone's permission to go in there first. Look, on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. Texas? Aren't we in fucking LA? It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Cool, can we do that? This swinging door makes this place look like some kind of a saloon. But look, it's now shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yarg myself. Just fucking jump over the desk. I don't care if it's uncivilized, it works. Yipes! These sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell, with spines pointing in every direction, just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? Paunchy? Pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Who the fuck drinks this much booze on the job? Jesus. Might I reiterate? Uncivilized. Again, why the fuck is there a Texas thing here? I do not see anything else I can look at. I guess I have to come back to that. Well, where should we begin? Oh, well, isn't it obvious? We should begin with that, you know, that thing. The mystery of the victim, I guess. How could one man, Detective Goodman, be killed in 2 places simultaneously? Well, you see... We should go to the police department. The evidence room, was it? I'm not being very useful here, am I? No, you're being very helpful. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. There was that business with him not reading that officer's report. Ah, about the killing at the police department, right. The chief of police was right about that, but I can't help but think someone at the police department doesn't like Edgeworth. Mia's plant, Charlie. I've been taking care of him in Maya's absence. Huh? He looks a little yellow today. Oh, I watered him just now. I mixed in a lot too. Mixed in what? Why, my very own scientific additive. Well, Charlie, you like it? I told you, he's turning yellow. Looks like it's cleaning day again at the hotel across the way. I hear they're planning a second branch outside the city. Again! The bellboy was staring right at me. He looks wimpy, but you can tell there's a sharp edge under that facade. That bellboy is going to be someone someday. Wish someone would say that about me. Mia's desk. I sit here even less now that I've stopped taking cases. Uh-oh! I have a history test coming up next week. I better study. I'm borrowing this desk, okay? Let's see. George Washington was the first king of America. Sorry, Mia. Also, fucking king? Bitch? What are you talking about? There's a poster of the Steel Samurai on the wall. Maya stuck it up here on the day that she left. I didn't have the heart to take it down. I do sometimes get strange looks from the clients, though. Difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. They mock me. Oh, I tried studying one of those just now. Remember what they were talking about in the trial today? Oh, right, evidence law. So, did you learn anything? Well, when I tried reading, it made my head hurt. Oh. Then, when I closed it, it slipped out of my hand and fell on my foot. Oddly enough, I find myself identifying with her on this one. Excellent, good to know that told us nothing. Good to see that I'm using my time wisely. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Whoa, these are all case files? They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. Odd. I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with heights. He must have someone get them for him. Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? He must be studying these case reports so closely. He's so cool. You wouldn't say that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. Hey, chessboard! I'm not too up on my chess, but it looks like blue's in a bit of a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. Kind of reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? He owns multiple chess sets to roleplay defeating me in court. Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. Nah, it's nothing. A work desk. It's quite tidy as one might expect. What a nice desk! Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished so high I can see my own reflection. Strange, why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? Maybe I'll take that name plaque as a souvenir. Don't. He'll sue you. Ooh, cute! What a pretty tea set! I go more for the instant tea bags myself. Amazing! The drawer below is filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend. What an exquisitely splendid concoction. There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far. I can tell. Whoa! What of you? It must be nice to have an office on the 12th floor. I guess you would feel important. Incidentally, were you to jump out this window, the speed at the time of impact would be... Got it! Approximately 70.71 miles per hour. That's handy to know. Is it? What the fuck? That's fast. My! What an amazing bouquet! No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead, Wendy. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before. And here beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Wendy? Is she Mr. Edgar's fiance? I don't think so. Wow! This jacket is even lacier than his usual ones. This must be his lucky travel jacket. Lucky jacket, right. I've never seen him wear it. I'm sure there's a story behind why it's in a frame. Maybe I'll be naughty and take a picture. She's getting way too excited about this. He won such a prestigious award. Why would he just leave it on the couch? Yeah, you'd think he'd want to show this thing off more than that giant steel samurai. Then again, Edgar has always been like that. Really? Hey, I should write this down. Tell me what he was like as a kid. Back in elementary school, he won awards for all kinds of things. Speech contests, essays, playing the flute, golf tournaments. He plays the flute? That doesn't exactly sound like typical elementary school stuff. But he always hated receiving awards. He'd make some smart remark like, I know the path I've walked. No one else needs to tell me. That's how he's always been. Kind of gets under your skin, doesn't it? Alright, where the fuck am I going? Someone used marker to write their name on this. Emma Sky. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go. Well, you never know when something might go down. Just what kind of a world do you think we live in? I mean, is she wrong, though? I'm looking up what I'm doing because I am tired of wandering around aimlessly. Apologies, but, can't fucking do it anymore. Oh my god, I feel fucking stupid. Okay. I was supposed to present something. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Kill myself. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I have a walkthrough pulled up here because struggling for hours on end isn't fun and it's boring as hell to edit. And as someone who can very easily get distracted because of my ADHD, which I am medicated for, it does not stop me from being easily distracted though. Maybe that's a sign that I need a med check adjustment. And very prone to autistic burnout as well. I need to not be having boring editing jobs, so yeah. I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed in the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Oh, that wasn't her, was it? Fuck. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The whole of my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, mister. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite clearly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any clearer than that. The only problem was they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came for several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops. I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now, and no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection! So, rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Epic. What am I doing now? Yeah, I figured. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't fucking sitting here for hours. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please. Huh? Wasn't that... Oh. One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal, you mean... You heard about the stab in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit that station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Sitting around here talking ain't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Fuck? What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, poor lad. Hi, green, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir. Officer Meekins! So you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir. I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? You... Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir. How? I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because the evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer is none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went right. I saw red, I blacked out. When I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir, don't label me as victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Bruce Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do. Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, huh? And when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. That it is. I am far too stupid to figure this out on my own, I'm sorry. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir, that's it, that's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct, that card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is that you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman, a lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room, and that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show you his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? I'm taking my wash off. Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim who he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me I had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime. I swear to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on tape. And he waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry. Really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my bags. I don't deserve it. No thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what this means if there's anything missing? Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans. I accidentally skipped the previous one. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Oh, Ryder, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh ho ho, Chief Gant. Reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Eggsworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. The very fugly bitch that has never seen the sun. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of a turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their own turf, too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume? Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Rido, I can't just give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping that chief of detectives mouth shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. I will come back to that. Never fucking mind. Is the walkthrough I have incorrect or some shit? No, I'm just fucking stupid. Yeah, okay, we're going back, sorry. I didn't scroll down far enough. That's the answer here. Fuck. Sorry you had to see that.
What exactly did the chief of police want you to do?
Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can.
So, nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here?
Of course not. Well, except for this.
What? You kept something?
Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete.
A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something?
The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. You don't fucking say. I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Oh, sorry, Rido. I'm through with that stuff. Through, I say. Go find the guy who can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one.
The guy who can't sit still. Does he mean Detective Goodman?
Gumshoe, that's what that said. I can't fucking read for the life of me. Either him or the dancing blue badger. When the fuck? I'm so stupid. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Rido asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Now, Rido. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Rido, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? If anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I give him $50, no problem. So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out.
It just goes to show you never know until you ask.
And for you, here, you can borrow this.
Oh, hey, that is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it.
Yes, sir. It's an honor.
You just run along now and do your best. Later, folks.
It looks pretty cool on my label, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID.
You seem happy.
Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir.
I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Mood. If I miss one more time, I'm gonna lose it. The evidence room is beyond that door.
And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open.
Aha! The card reader is turned off, see?
What is that security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my Bambina's sky so gray? Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yeehaw, that card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yeehaw?
Well, what you standing there for? Get on, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Jesus Christ, Jarvis is loud. Are you okay there, bud? Dude, he is warm. Okay, I'm gonna need to wrap this up soon. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you, hombres. You're busy then. Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Okay, Mr. Brooding Much. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. Something tells me I'm going to need to present the Salisbury steak first. That smell. Ah, reminds me of Texas. Have you ever even been to Texas?
So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas?
No, I just saw a special on television the other day. This from my baby?
Yeah, Miss Starr.
Oh, what's this?
What? What's wrong?
A fillet steak. I see, I see.
I don't see. I wonder what it means.
Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything. Finally, it seems like.
He's willing to talk.
Epic.
Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Poor old doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know?
So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy.
Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place.
You mean the security camera system?
I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know?
Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened.
There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago.
2 days ago, the day of our case.
That's right. The evidence transferals. Actually, was talking about the transferals too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. And nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes?
I reckon they might be.
You're the security guard and you reckon?
One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passed through. So this is the ID card record.
Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before.
Maybe there's some way I can prove that the record is tied to this stabbing? Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see?
So what happens to the evidence after 2 years?
It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after the case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. If I present him with the ID, is he gonna...
See this? This is the victim's ID card.
The one that was on the ground in the parking lot? The number on this is 5842189.
Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look, the 4th number. It's a perfect match.
It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room?
But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Excellent. Let's go to the evidence room. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here.
So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard.
Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue.
Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Eek!
Whoa!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Right, oh please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant, will owe anyone $50? Even me?
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today.
Boss for a day.
But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for today. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room floor plans. Yippee.
So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day?
That's right. It's an honor. After all, murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Of course. I am a detective after all. They give me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
I always believe in Eggsworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Eggsworth is with the inquiry community right now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in the court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Eggsworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Eggsworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Well, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. A lock for each locker is code with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handle is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it,
zap, you get a shock.
If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprints locks. Big yawn. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That's sad. I bet that evidence locker was opened recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for ink testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here.
What a sorry looking fishing pole that is.
Oh, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal. That's the metal detector. When I led to the solving of that case out on Gore Lake, remember? Oh, right. Wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy solving some case sooner or later. A cheap looking box? You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart.
This place is stuffed with evidence. Stuffed with James.
I'm not so sure about the James.
It won't open.
Did he really think it would? Hey pal, our security's high tech around here.
Look, this one's open. And the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That locker is covered with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker.
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents somewhere. What's this? Blood?
It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
Looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright, what if there are other blood stains left in the room?
We should use her testing fluid to check it out.
Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broken.
You want to try to put it back together?
Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue.
Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. It's a puzzle. I like puzzles. Yeah, how does this work? A tutorial on this would be nice. Trial and error. Tell your friends about it. Alright then. Oh. There you are, you little shit. Thought so. Epic. Oh, bullshit. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh. There's a missing piece here.
Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem's finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen?
I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understand how it got broken.
Put these pieces together, it makes a jar.
There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke.
I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar.
Someone left a glove here, but only one.
Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it.
What's a saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed there's blue and yellow paint in here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room. Alright, how do I use the, Oh, epic. Just gonna... Well, that didn't do shit. Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. I bet Eggsworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Eggsworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Eggsworth was a man to be feared.
But why would evidence from that case turn up now?
I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Now that was a bloody, violent case.
Violent, so it was murder?
A serial killing.
A serial killing.
Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake and Mr. Eggsworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Eggsworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, you see?
So that switchblade knife,
the victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Excellent. What am I doing now? That's the victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. These days, everything's cards and secret numbers. I can never relax. It's only because you always lose your card. I always forget my secret number too. Scare, huh? My face would be ID enough. What's the world coming to? Detective Gumshoe, rebel against the system. Oh, the record! I'm fucking stupid. Sorry. Could you take a look at this? Fuck. This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa!
What is it?
That second number! It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Eggsworth!
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Eggsworth.
What?
Why would Eggsworth have come to the evidence room? Okay, now do I do the... Apparently I'm not doing it right. I'm fucking very confused. Oh, right, I can examine things. I'm stupid.
I knew it! This is someone's right handprint.
What? What's the matter, Detective? This locker? It's mine!
It's yours?
Please, you have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise you'll testify we won't harm and fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police.
What? But you're a detective.
That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien?
This proves that something really happened in front of this locker.
I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
Why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called liminal testing fluid.
Where you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Oh, Gumshoe, what will we do with you? Where did you get this, Emma?
I always buy it by mail order.
Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you need to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note right on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems?
Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure you can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Oh god, it's the Demon Bellboy. Ah, guests, my apologies. Oh, it's you.
Have we met somewhere before?
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here?
There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
Right. Here's the hotel bring him tea service?
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing has really taken a toll on him.
I've consistently been smelling pretzels over here, and I'm starting to wonder if it's my computer frying. You okay down there, Jervis? Maybe we should switch to liquid cooling. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed the evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you, why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Oh, right. I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage. Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less.
The Chief of Police?
Why should it be him? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence. Screwdriver added to the court record. Stubborn as always. I told you, this has nothing to do with the current case. What am I doing now? Oh, okay, yeah. What is with, presenting the same fucking switchblade to everyone? Like, genuinely? I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gent. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago, too, then. He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won a guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science?
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this
luminal testing fluid. Well then, you might have a use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints.
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks! How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well?
Well, let's get going! One last investigation.
Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Epic. Thank you, Edgeworth. Our investigation has turned up a suspicious handprint.
Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker.
Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed.
Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger.
A finger?
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint, so let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done.
Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
Huh? How do you do that?
With enter, see?
Ah, it looks like that did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess.
Huh? How do I do that?
With E. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See?
Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to though.
It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything.
You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra.
Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
I guess I better give it a try. What if I just paint it white?
Aha! You did it! You found one!
But this looks nothing like a fingerprint.
Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
What does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves.
Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here.
Hey, calm down! That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we go look for other prints?
Other prints?
Looking at the locker door again closely.
Oh.
It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. See if we can find a clear print.
I should download an auto clicker for this. There it is. How long do you think it took the artist to be able to make that?
Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling!
Dazzling?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away.
So we're not done yet? This is quite a process.
Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Exworth and point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That must mean the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Yep. Yippee! Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You're roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's kick it out. This is where we've got a luminal fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay. Wanna try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit! Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. I don't see shit. Apparently that was it. It's so white, it's blinding. I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Fucking where? It's literally, there's not another one. Yep. There it is. That's a match. Hey, these fingerprints, Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. Luminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess it's what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued. Thank God, because it's like going on 2 hours. I've been recording since like 2. Well, that is going to be where I end this episode of Ace Attorney. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Hit that little bell icon so that you never miss an upload. I hope you all had a wonderful day, my little lemons, and I will see all of you in the next one. Bye!